Hey everyone, Katie Sutton here, intuitive channel and founder of Zen Within Academy and the New Earth Now School. I hope you are doing well. I am live with your December 2022 energy update. I've got 4 themes to share with you this month. The first is massive karmic clearings. The second is observe the chaos. The third is release the resistance. And the fourth is love your shadow. So stay tuned for the rest of the energy update. Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe this page so that you don't miss any future updates. I also want to just say that we are moving into volume 3. I can't believe it. We're already on volume 3 of my New Earth Now School in the month of January, and we're going to be focused on community and connection. We just finished up doing an amazing volume on money and manifestation that you can still get access to if you'd like. We moved through some major density and shifted our manifestation and money stories in a big way. So check that out if you have time. So here's the thing. We are coming to the end of 2022, and I knew that the fourth quarter, based on what my guides were telling me, was going to be big. I knew we were going to be asked to do a lot of work that we'd been putting off and to clear out a whole big backlog of energy. And so far, as we're moving into December, the energies are not disappointing. We are headed towards a winter solstice on December 21st. And that winter solstice is going to really activate us into the next 10 years of frequency on this planet. So it's a really big shift. And anytime we're working towards a really big shift like that, we have a pretty significant amount of energy that needs to be cleared. And so we have definitely been seeing that in the collective this year. I feel like 2022 overall has just been a very massive year of letting go. And I recently had an experience on vacation, and in the middle of the night woke up and had some big energy coming forward, some big emotion coming forward, and really tapped into what's still unprocessed in the collective from the pandemic and from all the things that we've experienced over the last 3 years. And it's a pretty big heaping amount of energy. And all of that is standing in the way of us receiving all this newness and this big light that's coming in the winter solstice. So you may feel pushed as we move into December to really get through that energetic backlog. And that's why the first theme is massive karmic clearings, okay? We are closing out cycles, and we're always closing out cycles on this planet. We're always doing this work. We're always moving beyond things, clearing karma. But this is big, y'all. This is the biggest amount and backlog of energy that I've seen us clearing in a long time. And some of us have really been chipping it away at this, and we've been really doing our work, and we've been really anchored into this. And so we're going to be set up to really allow this to just fall out of our fields, to get neutral to it and just allow it to fall out of our fields. Some of us maybe haven't been as diligent in doing this work and have been a little asleep to the need to do this work, and may get some wake-up calls this month. Okay, we may get a little bit of a cosmic slap in the face of, hey, you're still not doing the work around this pattern. This still needs to go. This is still ruling your life. Okay, so pay close attention to what's coming up, because I do suspect that we're going to feel a lot of energy shifting out of our experience in the first 3 weeks of December as we lead up to this winter solstice. And so it's important, as we move into our second theme, that you observe and don't engage with the chaos. So observe the chaos. This includes the chaos happening around you, what's happening with the holidays, what's happening with your family members, what's happening with your loved ones. It is not your job to fix all of that, right? A lot of us are clearing patterns right now that say that we're only safe if everybody outside of us is safe, if everything outside of us looks peaceful. We're starting to step into the awareness that as deeply sensitive souls, we can observe that chaos and we can still choose peace. And that's not selfish, and that we can still choose us in these chaotic moments. And so, second theme, observe the chaos. Don't engage. Can you be present with what's happening outside of you? See that there are things that are outside of your control, and realize that the only thing that you have control over is how you react, how you show up. This is of vital importance. It's also going to be amplified because as we move into winter solstice and all this new energy is coming in, it's going to wrap some people around the axle. they're going to start to go into fear. They're going to start to go into overwhelm. They're going to start to feel like they've got to meet everybody's expectations and obligations. And that never works out, but it especially doesn't work out when we've got holidays going on and family dynamics going on and work dynamics that get very stressful around this time of year. And so really take the time that you need to pull out of that. You may have very different needs this holiday season than you've ever had before. You may be showing up very differently this holiday season than you ever have before. Really take the time to pull out of that chaos, because that's going to set you up to receive so much light and so much support and so many of the dreams that you've been having that you really want to see realized. Make the space for that to come in. One of our themes last month was connecting with sacred rest and understanding that we didn't need to keep working so hard, that we could take time to integrate. So I hope you practice that in November so that you can continue to activate into that in December. The being energy is where it's at right now. This is not a doing time. Even when I talk about all these clearings that are happening, this is not one of those things where you're actively having to go in and find things. They're going to be coming to you. Patterns are going to be showing up. And all you have to do is say, wow, I am in awareness of that. And I really would like to not continue to live that pattern. Help me to see what the alternative is. And then do the work when the action is presented to you. Only then, right? Don't step into the doing unless the action is presented to you, unless you feel the yes in your whole body, then take the action. And so that takes me to the third theme that I want to talk with you about, which is releasing the resistance. Okay. So what I'm noticing is that a lot of us are getting really clear direction, really clear information on what needs to change, really clear awareness about what's not working, and the shifts that need to be made in our lives. And we're going into some resistance, myself included, right? This is part of the human experience. We get into that resistant place sometimes, and we are afraid of the change. And so the opportunity is to begin to release that resistance. And this is not by fighting against it, okay? We don't meet with resistance with more resistance. We drop into it and we sit with it. We see where it is in the body. We feel into where it is in the body. We feel into what emotion is behind the resistance. Is there fear? Is there a fear of rejection? Is there a fear of abandonment? Is there shame? Is there guilt? What is the emotion behind the resistance? And can you be with that emotion and allow it to be present and not shame it, not shame yourself? Really going to lead us into the fourth theme that I'm going to talk about in a second. But this resistance is showing you where your work lies, right? Where there is some need to be present with something. And you may be finding that there are people in your life that are in resistance to you. And so that's an outward expression of this energy. And if you meet that resistance with more, if you go to battle with them, you're just going to get more conflict. We've been practicing this outside of ourselves a lot this year. We've learned that when we go into duality with other people, that we just get more duality. We just get more polarity. We just get more conflict. Now we're internalizing that. And what this looks like is those masculine and feminine energies that I always talk about, the being and the doing, coming together in union so that we don't have anxiety, so that we don't have fear, so that we don't have overwhelm. A lot of that is what is present for many of us right now, because there's a knowing that there's a big change on the way for us. There's a knowing that there's something coming for us. There's a knowing that we're going to be in a different vibration, a different frequency as we move into next year. And we really want to get there, but there's also a part of us that's terrified of getting there because we don't know what might change. And so right now, it may not be the time to take the action to overcome the resistance. It may be time to be with the resistance and allow it to release from your field, right? So when we sit with an emotion, when we give it its full due, when we see a pattern and we bring it fully into awareness and we love it, then it can start to release from our field. Then it can no longer have control over us. But if you're ignoring it, or you're leaning into the busy, or you're pretending like it's not happening, that is not releasing the resistance. That is repressing the resistance. Okay. And so that takes me into our fourth theme. Now, our fourth theme is something that I've been working on for the last couple of months, and it's now ready for me to bring forward into the healing circle with you all, which will be, I think, on December 14th, the middle of the month. And so this is love your shadow. So, loving your shadow means being with all these things that I just talked about. So, the part of you that is your shadow is probably also the part of you that goes into resistance, the part of you that gets fearful, the part of you that gets guilty, feeling guilty, or maybe behaves badly, or gets angry, or gets frustrated. Loving that part of yourself and being with that part of yourself will allow this resistance to start to break away. And one of the things that I've been doing for the last couple of weeks or so is I actually built an altar for my shadow self. I built an altar for all these parts of me that get wrapped around the axle when change comes, that start to overthink, that start to worry. And instead of pretending like those parts of me are bad or that they don't exist, I have brought them into my physical environment and I'm honoring them. And so when we love our shadow, we also begin to release our resistance to the shadow of the collective, to the shadow of what's happening here on this planet. And we begin to develop the frequency of neutrality. And when we step into neutrality, the things that we're in resistance to can naturally just literally fall right out of our field. And so loving your shadow self and loving the components of yourself that you've been in resistance to is a step to releasing resistance in your whole life, right? So releasing resistance is not just about being in a place of not resisting those around you. It's also not being in resistance of the aspects of yourself. And last month we worked on claiming and honoring the inner innocence, the inner radiance, the light, your beautiful light being self. And now we're going to work on claiming and loving the darker parts of us, the parts of us that we keep hidden, the parts of us that we don't want to talk about. And we all have these components. It does not make you a bad person. It does not mean that you're not worthy. It does not mean that you're not lovable. And so when we start to bring these parts of ourselves in and we start to love them, then we can integrate them. So this is not just about loving your shadow, it's about integrating that shadow. And when we integrate that, we have a degree of wholeness that creates courage and resiliency and strength in our lives so that we can take action and move forward. So this is a really, really important theme as we close out 2022. Is a lot of the things that we're going to be asked to clear this month have been hiding out in the shadows in our psyche. They've been patterns that have been buried. They've been things that we've been seeing in other people and projecting onto other people and not seeing about ourselves. Those are the things that are going to be coming up this month, not in a scary way, not in a heavy way. I feel like they're just going to be coming up and it's going to be really obvious that there's some action to take to release that. And so this act of loving those parts of ourselves is super important to create the neutrality so that we can move forward to a degree of wholeness and completeness that we've never experienced in our field before. And from that template of wholeness, then we can truly manifest. Then we can truly have all these big dreams that we've been dreaming up that have felt out of our reach. I really see as we move into 2023 that there's going to be a huge opening and a huge influx of new potential realities for all of us. And it's your job to make sure that you're ready to claim that. It's your role to ensure that you're worthy, that you feel worthy of claiming that. It is your birthright to have all of these amazing things that you want to have. But if you are in denial of a part of yourself and not loving a part of yourself, that part of you can't come to the table. There is a part of you missing and you can't step into wholeness, which means you can't have the big dreams that you're trying to manifest. So this idea of loving your shadow and integrating these parts of you and feeling whole in your being, feeling whole and complete in your being is going to set you up really nicely for moving into the energies of 2023. And I do think as we move into next year, on a collective level, we're going to see some opening. We're going to start to see some new solutions coming on, some more information coming in about what's really been going on, some more illusion falling away. And all of that is going to serve to create a little bit more chaos, which is going to create more change, which is going to be more opportunity for us to continue to expand here on this planet in our frequency, in our vibration, and in what we can have as a collective. There is so much power coming in 2023. And so do your work this month in December to get into a place of believing that you're worthy of that, to get into a place of being ready to receive that, to opening up your channel, to not leaning into the chaos around you so that you can take care of you, so that you can be ready to receive all this goodness. All of the homework that you do in December is going to prepare you for the amazing initiations that are coming next year. Big stuff is coming, my friends. I'm so excited to say that to you all, but do the work. We've got one more month left of this year. Do the work that you need to do to claim all of that goodness. All right, so check out newearthnowschool.com if you want to do some deeper work on money and manifestation, if you want to drop into community and connection, including with your guides and your higher self. We're going to be working on that in January. And check out our healing circle. We'll focus on loving your shadow from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern on December 14th. And we will really work to claim this wholeness so that we can get ready for the bigness coming next year. All right, so have an amazing rest of your year. I will see you in 2023. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe this page so that you can get all of my updates. Have an amazing month, everyone. Bye-bye.